Welcome back to Sunday Sports Night. Oshkosh plans to conduct a nationwide head coaching search at the end of its basketball season. Those plans have been in place all year, but this season's success may be making any search a moot point, just like Greg Gard's campaign as interim man in Madison a few years back. Lindsay Polaris has the story.
Thanks, Dave. The Titans' interim head coach Matt Lewis is making a pretty strong case for himself as UWO's next head coach. Under Lewis's leadership, the Oshkosh men haven't skipped a beat. Coming off their national title game appearance last season, the Titans have put together a remarkable 23-2 record and have secured the WIAC regular season title for the first time since 2002.
I probably wouldn't have believed them or told them yes, it's possible. We knew we had a good team, but getting to this point and having the record that we have, we're fortunate. You know, things have to go the right way over the course of a season.
One of the biggest things to swing in the Titans' favor is the carryover of talent. Lewis inherited 15 players from the national title game roster, including 4 of 5 starters.
I mean, our old guys are as committed as they've ever been. You know, coming off a season that we had last year, it might have been easier to just say, hey, we might be good next year and let's just see if it works out. Instead of doing that, they reinvested and they come every day and they work their tails off, and it trickles down to the young guys.
Those old guys on the team have an established relationship with the 31-year-old Lewis, which made the transition of power a smooth one. The former Titans assistant coach had a hand in recruiting a majority of the players on the current roster.
He was at most of my high school games my senior year. I'm just from down the road in Rosendale, so you know, it wasn't that far of a drive, but I don't remember any home games where there wasn't at least one coach, and a lot of times it was Lewis that was there.
You know, he was really involved with guys like Brett, too, Adam Fravert, really top to bottom. He was, you know, had an established relationship with us all the way back to high school.
So how do the players that know him best describe his coaching style?
He's an energy giver every day. He brings a ton of passion, and he's a really, you know, he's a youthful guy, as you can see, and he's got a lot of energy, and that really rubs off on all of us.
Very energetic on the sidelines. He gets into the games a ton, but I would say, you know, he's very trusting as a coach. You know, he's not gonna, you make a mistake out there, he's not gonna instantly pull you out and put you on the bench, which I love about him.
A lot of who I am as a coach was molded by Pat. So our practices are intense and high energy and competitive because that's the way he was, and I found out that's the way I wanted to be as a head coach.
As much as they are alike, Lewis is not a carbon copy of Pat Yuckham. He's also letting this experience mold him into his own type of head coach.
Being a head coach at an early age, and you just got to figure things out, and so you have to learn not only, you know, from the people above you, the coaches that you've coached with, your administration, but you got to take a lot away from the older players that you got on your team too, and we've got some special older guys, and so I've learned a lot from them, and hopefully they've been able to learn some from me as well.
The head coach job hasn't been offered to Lewis yet, in spite of all his success as the interim leader. But his ideal situation would be to stick with the Titans.
I've got mom, dad, brother, sister-in-law, nieces. I've got a fiance. Her and I bought a house in Appleton. Her family has moved up here from Florida. We're getting married this summer. So this is home, and we want to stay home.
Now that the regular season is over and done with, Lewis and the Titans will have a few days off before the WIAC tournament. The Titans are the top seed and have a first-round bye before hosting one of the semifinal games on Thursday. In the newsroom, Lindsay Polaris, Action 2 Sports.
Welcome on back to Fort Wayne. We have a first-time Division III national champion as the University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh claims the title. The hardware is on hand and a championship awarded. John Sayak for CBS Sports Network. We are joined now by the chairman of the Division III Men's Basketball Committee, Sam Atkinson.
Fort Wayne, Indiana, congratulations on hosting an amazing championship weekend. The NCAA Division III Men's Basketball National Committee would like to recognize Swarthmore College on the great season and being this year's national runner-up. On behalf of the National Committee, we'd like to congratulate Coach Lewis and the Wisconsin-Oshkosh Titans on winning its first national championship.
You were here last year. You came that close, and here you are with the dream realized. When we spoke yesterday, you talked about the goal of your program to win a national title. It's been realized. What is this experience like?
I don't know if I can put it into great words. It's been a vision. We've got some alums sitting up there that bought into it. We've got some guys right here that bought into it when we weren't very good a few years ago. And to come here and finally cut down the final net, I don't know if this is going to hit me for a real long time. This is incredible.
Your team has such depth, has such size. There have been different stars throughout this journey. Tonight, Jack Flynn was a man.
First, Jack Flynn, two things. Jack Flynn is the lane, and he's a stretch five when we go to Spain in May. We've got something that we live by. Good teams have good players, great teams have great teammates, and that's who these guys are, and I think it's shown all the way through this year.
It was a great effort by your team and by you and your coaching staff. Right? One of your mentors leaves in the wake of last year. You're named the interim head coach. You're 31 years old. You're now the second best winning percentage of any active coach in Division I, II, or III in college basketball. To achieve this with this bench, you were the man who tethered relationships with so many of these young men. What's that experience been like?
It was special getting to hug those seniors as they walked off the court. These guys bought into something, and we've built a relationship that's going to last the test of time. And when we get back together 20 years from now, we may not remember shots that we made or plays. It's going to be the crazy things that happened in the bus ride or the locker room or whatever the heck Moose does. It's going to be those things that you remember. So to get to do it with this quality group of young men is incredible.
It's a familial atmosphere that you have with your team, but also for you personally. You talked about making a home in Oshkosh, and we saw the embrace that you were able to enjoy the game's wake. Take us through that tale of your family and the significance here.
Obviously, my immediate family, my fiance is back there somewhere. I'm going to have to fundraise and pay for her flight. She had to change her flight for tomorrow. She's going to fly to Colorado. But mom, dad, sister-in-law, brother, nieces are all back there. And then every other Titan fan, including these guys, our parents, our staff members, our support staff, everybody's a family member. We've got something special at Oshkosh.
Congratulations to you and your Titans, Division III national champs. So Wisconsin Oshkosh claims the title against redemption here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the first in program history. For our entire CBS Sports crew, I'm John Sayak. Thank you so much for joining us here on CBS Sports Network. The Wisconsin Oshkosh Titans, the first time Division III national champions.
From WFRV TV Local 5, this is Nicolay National Bank's Sports Extra with Local 5 Sports Director Bert Griffin.
Good evening and welcome to Sports Extra. Tonight we'll break down film on the Blizzard bye week with head coach Corey Roberson, plus wrap up the boys state basketball championships with Brad Clark and Oshkosh Lords. But first we'll stick with that hoops theme and history being made in the UW Oshkosh program. Joining me in studio to talk about that, I'm just going to say head coach Matt Lewis of the UW Oshkosh Titans. Pretty sure you're never going to use that interim term ever again.
Yeah, I've avoided it as much as possible.
Here or elsewhere. This beautiful trophy that is taller than both of us right here, the very first one, and you led your guys last night against Swarthmore in the Final Four over there in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Have you come down yet from the high of it? It's been a whirlwind, I'd assume.
Yeah, I don't think I have yet. You're running on pure adrenaline for 3 straight weeks, and today I'm sitting on the bus, and you'd like to catch some Z's and rest up, and you just can't. Your body won't allow it, and I'm still not to that point. So I'm sure it'll set in at some point.
Well, I know you got some good green tea or something in there to make sure that voice stays with it. Just give me 5 good minutes. It's like the end of the game, Coach. 5 good minutes on this interview.
I'll do my best.
And we'll see if we can gut our way through it. Did you know early in the season, I mean, you're coming off a run where you made it to the national championship game. You lose a little bit. And you had the bulk there, though.
Yep.
I mean, the Ben Boots and Jack Flynn and Brett Witchow. And, I mean, the list goes on and on. There was some talent on this roster. And we were treated to some great games this year watching you guys make your run.
Yeah, we thought we had something really special. You know, we returned a lot, obviously, off of last year's team, and just the summer that those guys had and the amount they invested for the off season was incredible. You know, a lot of teams, or some teams, would have just sat back and waited to see what would happen the next year. Are we going to be good? And our guys, they took the opposite approach, and they just reinvested in themselves and in the team. And I mean, it's a credit to the quality of young men that we have in our program.
Well, the cool part about it was on any given night, really. I mean, you didn't, yeah, Ben got the majority of the big-time run in terms of nationally and the big games and what he had accomplished in his career. But you got a guy like Flynn, 33 points. I mean, the big man from Appleton West. What a great evening last night.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch. We had the capabilities on the bus ride home today where we could play it on the TV, and so we watched it on the bus again, and we just kind of dropped our jaw at some of the moves that he made in the paint. But I mean, to your point, we had multiple guys throughout the tournament step up, and Ben Boots did get first team All-American, but he didn't make the All-Tournament team. It was Adam Fravert and Jack Flynn got the most outstanding player, and you know, a couple weekends ago, Connor Duax, some would consider our fifth option.
Right.
He was the best player on the floor in our Sweet 16 game.
Absolutely, and he had 16 in this one. You had your five big guys had double figures, and you put up almost 100. I mean, that's saying something.
Yeah, it was them. I mean, we just have great teammates and guys that are willing to share the basketball.
Adam Fravert, look at 14 points, 12 boards, 5 huge block shots. Brett Witchout, 14, and like you said, your All-American only had 10. Yeah. That is a true team, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch them play. They just share the basketball. They're unselfish guys, and they just want to win games.
That moment, tell me about it.
It was tough. I mean, you know, they're asking questions, and you're trying to come up with answers. Not quite as this isn't quite as stressful as that one.
Right.
You know, they want you to tell the story of what it feels like on that stage at that moment, and you just can't. I mean, it is just pure joy and exhilaration, and you're just trying to soak it in. It's awesome.
Well, after a lengthy bus ride back to the state of Wisconsin, here's what some of your players had to say at the welcome home celebration down there in Oshkosh.
I think it really hit. We had like a 14-point lead with like 3 minutes left or so. You know, I kind of looked around and I was like, wow, this is it. You know, we're going to win this game. We're going to be national champions. It means everything. It's been the goal all along, ever since day one, since I was recruited to come here.
Yeah, it's a perfect ending for me. Not a better way to go out for our senior class, and there's not many people who get to end their career on a win. So I'm really fortunate to be one of those people.
How cool was that homecoming today?
It was awesome. I love the amount of support that our families, friends, our faculty that came out today. I had one of the UW Oshkosh police officers contact me in the middle of the day and said, hey, we want to lead you back into town.
Yeah.
Just the amount of support we've had these last few years is incredible.
Well, and it's also cool to see the programs, how they support each other.
Yeah.
Fisher and the women's program, not only just in the basketball side of it, the football guys go into the games, you guys go to their games, and it's really been an amazing run for UWO athletics as a whole in the last 4, 5, 6 years.
No doubt. We've got something special going at UW Oshkosh. We've got some fantastic coaches and assistant coaches and support staff. Daryl leads us really well, but then we've got tremendous student athletes that do a remarkably good job on the playing surfaces, but they do other incredible things as well. And it's a really special time at UW Oshkosh for our athletic department.
29-3 overall, conference championship during the regular season. Now, what do you do for an encore? You're going to have some big shoes to replace.
Yeah. We've got a lot of talent coming back. Yes, I've already kind of piece the things together. Who do we have coming back?
Right.
But I've also received some really sage advice about just trying to enjoy this one, because you just never know. We may never get back to this point. Very few people get to win one, let alone go compete for another.
Yeah, and you did it in back-to-back seasons, not only getting to the Final Four, but getting to the championship game.
Yeah.
That is rare air in any sport.
Yeah, we're going to try and enjoy this one. But we are excited about where we're at and where we're going to.
Well, it was definitely a fun season to watch all year long. Head coach of the UW Oshkosh men's basketball team. You won't have any recruiting problems with this thing either, will you? Just bring them through with the Golf Sports Center and look at that glass case with the national title in there. Matt Lewis, appreciate you stopping by.
Really appreciate it.
Best of luck in the offseason, and we'll definitely check in next year.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we'll stick with hoops in the Oshkosh area. Lord's Academy played in the Division IV state championship with a former Titan leading the Knights to a silver ball. That story and more is coming up.
Thank you so much, Zion. Presenting our next award for Division III Coach of the Year is Christopher Rickert of Wilson. 3 weeks ago, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh men's basketball team stormed to its first national title in the 121-year history of the program. Leading the Titans was a 31-year-old in his first ever season as a basketball head coach. In fact, he was only the interim head coach, but after leading his team to a 29-3 record on the season, including a 14-point victory in the championship game against Swarthmore, I think it's safe to assume that he will be shedding interim from his title. Please welcome to the stage the NABC Division III Coach of the Year, presented by Wilson, Matt Lewis.
Waiting for my highlight film. Didn't come, so I didn't know when to stand up over there. But I'm fortunate to be at an incredible place, having a phenomenal family support system around me. A few of them are with me tonight. I've got my mom and dad who go above and beyond. I've got my fiance who very willingly, I guess it's a loose term, moved from Texas to Wisconsin and hasn't moved back quite yet. I'm marrying her in September. That's going to be an incredible day. So I love you, Galen. Thank you. I have to thank our coaching staff. 5 of them are here tonight. Dylan, Ben, Greg, and Casey. These guys actually spent the last few days with me here celebrating, and it's been an incredible few days with them. To get to do what we did with some of your best friends is an awesome thing. And I just want to finish. I got to thank our players. We have something in our program. Good teams have good players. Great teams have great teammates. And we've got incredible teammates, incredible young men. So I just want to thank those guys for helping us. Nobody gets these awards without a great team and great teammates. So thank you. And thank you again to Wilson and the NABC. Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach Lewis. So let's talk for a moment about why we are here this evening, okay? We are celebrating the coaches who help their players succeed, and not just on a 94-foot stretch of court, but also in the classroom, in their communities, and in their lives.
Perhaps the greatest job interview of all time as he led UW Oshkosh to its first national championship this season. To reward Lewis for his efforts, the school officially removed that interim label today, and Lily Zhao got a chance to catch up with the newest head coach of the Titans.
Hey Ryan, big day here on the campus of UW Oshkosh. I'm joined by Matt Lewis. And Matt, what does it really feel like to finally say I'm the head coach of the UW Oshkosh men's basketball team?
It feels really good. The last year has been incredible. And now for it to be official and kind of get rid of that interim tag, it's been a pretty special day.
When you guys win a program best 29 games, you have a 21-game winning streak, you win the first national title for this program. How do you top that in year 2?
A lot of people have asked that. Some people have told me to retire and just go out on top. I think it's, if you just focus on the national championship and that's the only reason you're doing it, then it is tough. Now we're going to continue to chase more national titles, but I think the thing that makes UW Oshkosh special is the kids that you get to do it with and the coaches you get to work with. And so we're just going to try and enjoy next year as it comes and not get all caught up on we got to outdo 2018-19.
Well, when you have the success you do as interim head coach, I'm sure other schools have noticed. Or did any universities reach out to you at all? And if so, why were you saying, hey, Oshkosh is the place for me?
Yeah, I didn't look. And this place has been right since the day I got here 7 years ago. And I did think I was going to have to leave at some point to be a head coach. After 6 years, and last year was really successful in 17-18. I thought that was the spring that maybe I was going to have to look. And then Pat left, and this became a realistic opportunity. And it's just gone incredibly well since we've gotten here, and now it's become truly home. And so it's worked out so well that I don't really want to look. I want to enjoy where I'm at.